Hey, what's up everyone, Instinct and Viper here today, and as one of you guys requested, in today's video we will be talking about the equipment we currently use for doing airsoft.
And as some of you may know, we recently did a vlog video about our history in the airsoft world, and we used to run with airsoft and knockoff equipment in the very beginning, which quickly failed on us. And in the last couple of years we step by step changed to proper equipment, and for that we will lay it out today to show it to you guys.
So let's get to it. To keep things organized, we'll be covering everything going from our feet up to our head. So let's start off with our feet.
For our feet we obviously use boots, and these are the Lowa Zephyr GTX Mid TF. We have been running the Coyote Brown version for about 3 or 4 years now, and we also got ourselves a pair in black.
Because yes, they do come in black.
And this is obviously important for frequent users, so we can change in between them. But obviously underneath these we also need socks.
Lots of socks. Just kidding, of course. These are the Uphill Sport tactical socks, which go from a very short but active usage all the way up to, for example, recon socks, which you can use for hours or days to keep your feet healthy, and everything in between, even up to an Arctic style sock.
Above that, for bad weather conditions, we also use gaiters. These are the ones from Tasmanian Tiger, and they protect your boots and your pants from getting any damage or getting dirty, and also prevent your feet from getting wet, which is important as well.
But unfortunately these are no longer available for sale, but we highly recommend you to get a pair of gaiters, because once you use them you'll see why people use them. So that was it for our feet. Next up are our legs, and let's start off with our underwear, since it's more important than most people realize.
So for this we use tight running shorts, which you can get at any general sports store. And why do we use these? Well, we have been running around with regular cotton underwear, and one day we had very active, warm, sweaty day, and the thing is, cotton creates friction, especially in the thigh area. And that day, after the very active airsoft day event, we had some severe burns on our legs and on our inner thighs, which were very itchy, and of course we wanted to avoid them. And ever since then we use these, and we haven't had that problem occurring anymore. So definitely a recommendation for you guys doing very active events: tight running shorts. On top of these we used to wear Invader gear pants, but as you guys know, within a year we had problems occurring with them. They had holes and rips in them already, and also they weren't really comfortable to wear. So we decided to go over to Crye Precision G3 combat pants, obviously in multicam, with a lot of pockets, adjustable knee pads, adjustable waist size. They are also very strong and durable. To give you an example of this, with them we went through bushes with spikes, etc., and no problem at all, no penetration whatsoever. So these are very good pants, but they are also very expensive in the EU, and for that reason we wouldn't buy them again.
But then again, there are also very good EU brands. Take for example UF Pro, Claw Gear, Direct Action, and 4M Systems.
And yes guys, we are working on getting those on our shop as well, but please have a bit of patience.
To protect our knees we use the Crye Airflex combat pads, which is actually our first Crye product we've ever had. And these are perfect to protect our knees, and they are a very good product on their own as well.
But as you may know, they are being implemented into the pants in a half open knee pad system, and especially for me personally, I have a lot of trouble with them coming loose with brutal movements, and for that I solved this by adding some tape or gear skin on top of them to have a more secure hold of them. But personally we would opt for a fully enclosed knee pad system in the future, because this gives a bit too much trouble at the moment.
Working our way up is the waist. For this we use the Sumo Gear Combat Custom Belt, which features an inner and outer belt system and has laser cut molly to securely hold your pouches. On the left side we have 2 pistol pouches and 1 AR pouch. All of them are made by Tasmanian Tiger. These show the old version, but the new versions are a bit better, but these do just fine for us now. They are very universal, so you can use them with nearly any sort of magazines.
On the back of the belt we have the Templar's Gear First Aid rip-off pouch, which is very easy accessible. Good system, good pouch, and at the moment we still haven't done any medical training yet, but we will attempt that very soon, and we already have got some equipment in here for our regular boo-boos you can come across on the field. On our right side of the belt, the dominant side, we both use the Tokyo Marui P226, and I have the Serpa CQC holster for it. Instinct has
the
airsoft version of this holster, but we are not really content both of the holster and the pistol at the moment. The pistol is mainly because it doesn't really create the realism we are looking for, both in recoil, weight, etc. And the holster, we would like to have something a bit lower beneath our waist height to have a better access. So at the moment we still run those, but we are looking into whatever other pistol we can use, and since the pistol defines the holster, that also is on a hold now, so we're looking for something else. So going up, we go up to our chest now.
For this we standard use the Cry Gendry combat shirt. It is again a very good product, but also expensive here in the EU, so we would still recommend to check out the other brands mentioned before, because they will give you a fairer deal.
Yep. And then besides that, for other weather conditions, if it gets warmer, we use a regular t-shirt. This is my Under Armour t-shirt. If it gets colder, we use a fleece in combination with the shirt or with our jacket. And this is our Helicon Tex Gunfighter jacket, also with us for about 4 years already, and still going strong. And the thing is, this jacket has a lot of zippers and pockets for both ventilation and storing stuff. And beside that, it is partially waterproof, which is important, but especially for cold and windy climates you want to have a windproof jacket, and this is one of its features, because body heat gets decreased a lot when it's windy, so that's what this jacket is for.
Now, if the weather gets really shitty, with lots of rain of course, we have the Tasmanian Tiger Tactical Poncho, which differs from a regular poncho because it still allows you to access your belt and front panel of your carrier, for example, by the use of zippers.
We haven't used this one in practice yet, since we haven't been to very shitty weather conditions, but it will definitely come in handy someday, since it features things that other ponchos don't have, especially for tactical purposes.
Next up are our hands, and to protect them we wear gloves. We used to wear lots of different types of mechanics gloves, but in our opinion the PIG FDT Alpha gloves are much better when it comes to the feel, ergonomics and comfort.
And besides that, we also wear a watch with us. Now this is the G-Shock Rangeman triple sensor, which is no longer being made anymore these days, but anyway, whichever watch you get from G-Shock, they are all solid watches and will definitely not fail you in harsh conditions. So as said, this is the triple sensor version, which besides time you can also track your height, the pressure in the air, and it also has a compass, which is definitely important for those navigational purposes, for those bigger events that will definitely be a necessity, since you have to go from location A to B, and navigation is a part of that over there. So definitely a recommendation if you guys need a good watch. G-Shock is the one to go for. Going further, on top of our chest we wear both a plate carrier. These days we used to run something else. I used to run a Warrior belt with the ability to put a chest panel on there as well, with the idea to change between the sniper and the assault role. It was a good system, was also made by Tasmanian Tiger, but it was a complex system because it was something I've put together myself, so putting it on and off was quite difficult.
I used to wear a 1-1-inch chest rig, which in all honesty I would never recommend to anyone, because it absorbs all moisture, it becomes very heavy, it's unpractical, and besides that it felt like I was wearing a plastic bag instead of a plate carrier or chest rig. Now we've changed that to the Tasmanian Tiger QRLC for me, and Viper now uses the Templar's Gear CPC ruck set.
So these systems of course carry our essential battle equipment, let's say. So spare magazines, hydration system, comm system with a PTT, And of course pouches on there as well to carry our camera equipment, grenades and other stuff. And inside these we also carry plates. Plates are especially important for plate carriers and chest rigs to get them into a shape and get some rigidity to them for proper functioning of them. And these are the ones from Travail Fitness. They also add about 3.5 kilos to our plate carrier for some physical training, of course. We are not going in depth in the setup of this plate carrier because we already made a video explaining both our setups in the past, so we will put a link to that video in the description down below.
Now besides that, you can also buy our setups over our shop.weekendbuilders.com. Next up is our head. Now, to protect our eyes we use the Stinger Hawk Vision glasses. We have been using many other brands and models before, but thus far these look the most promising.
Of course, when it comes to our face, we also want to protect our teeth. And for this we have, let's call them face masks. This one is one we made ourselves with a negator from Direct Action, and we cut a piece out of a regular mesh mask and sewed it in there just to cover our mouth. This is the one that Instinct uses. I got myself one from Delta Mic Phrase Pro from the UK, which is also a great system. They do not offer the same amount of protection since our noses are exposed, but for us the most important thing is to have our teeth protected, and these offer that in a great alternative, which is also very slim and comfortable to use. Now, going further onto our head, to put it in short, we now use a helmet, but we did come from something entirely different. Why did we need to make this change? Well, that was because we needed a way to protect our ears, because we once went to an event with some pyros, some big explosions, and we then decided to get something to protect our ears. And at the same time also we needed a good communication system, because that was something that we missed back then. So we opted for a Peltor Contact XPI, which is a very good system, definitely recommended. But back then when we ordered ours, we went through a very complex system, an array of people we had to contact, etc. to get ours. Plus we also paid way too much for them, which still sucks till this day. But that is why we
are so dedicated to bring it to you guys through our shop for fair prices, and it's just as easy as anything else. You click on it, you can buy it, and we send it. Now, besides protecting our ears, we also wanted to keep filming for you guys, and for that we decided to get ourselves a helmet in order to combine all of this. The helmet is the Team Wendy X-Fill LTP, which is a very good helmet and also protects your head against bumps. It has a very good retention system and padding, but we're not going to dive into detail in that because you can find the review of this helmet in the description down below. Now, this helmet also allows us to use night vision for future events. Now let's dive into the camera we use. This is the Mohawk camera. It is actually a military and law enforcement designed camera for the tough job these people do. It is very easy to manipulate with the switch on the back. It is very reliable, and it is, in our opinion, much better than GoPro, for example, for tactical usage. Also, since this camera can be mounted on the side of a helmet, you can also use your night visions at the same time, which with a GoPro wouldn't be the case. Next to the camera we have our Agilite Mohawk, which is a product from Agilite Gear and allows you to easily organize your cables, batteries and counterweights for if you're using night vision. And that's about it for the helmet. Now, of course, we wouldn't always carry a helmet, and for that we also got ourselves a replacement headband wrap for the Peltor headband that came with it, so we can still protect our ears without carrying the helmet itself. So that's one thing. And above that I still have the option to carry the Mohawk, but on my shoulder of my plate carrier, because thanks to Sumo Gear, the guy that has made our belts, he also made a custom adapter especially to mount the Mohawk onto my shoulder, so you guys can still get a view of what is happening, but in a different way than it is mounted on the helmet setup. And at last, probably the most important thing of the whole sport, our gun. We lately went from an AEG to a GBBR system, which is absolutely amazing in our eyes. It's true.
Yeah, it is. The thing is, it offers much more realism, a bit of a training factor as well. besides just the feel of an event. So a great addition in our eyes. Quite simple setup for us now. We have some plans in the future to alter it a bit and make it a bit more tactical and stuff. But for now this will do it. So what do we have here? We have an Aimpoint Pro on top of it, which is real steel optic. At least real steel is something we opt for, especially for GBBRs, because otherwise you will lose your zero, etc. Also it has a kill flash to protect it against BBs. On the handguard we have I have a front grip. Instinct doesn't like it that much, so whatever you want that fits you personally. And on the side a flashlight, of course, to light up those darker areas. It is a Clarus XT11S light, if I recall correctly. Also this one is built tough for tactical uses, outdoor uses, so also a great light for whatever we face. And then as the sling we have the Blueforce 2-point Vickers sling. Great sling, but also quite expensive since it is imported from the US. We wouldn't buy it again because in all honesty it's a bit bulky due to the padding it offers, but for now it does its job well together with all the rest. So yeah, put it with the rest of the stuff we have laying here.
So guys, this is all of the stuff one of us uses on a regular Airsoft event, of course in mind with the bigger Milsim events we plan to do with the team, and also the other stuff we plan to do. That was it for this video. We hope you liked it. If you do, make sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel and stay tuned by hitting the notification button. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next week.